Oh, okay. I know what I wanted to talk about. I have a frustration that I need to get off of my chest. I hate. Okay, I had a big problem with the Bible. I just tell stories. I had a big problem with the Bible for like the past 2 years. No, actually, let me take that back. I had a big problem with the Bible since I was 20. Big problem. Huge problem. Love the Bible, love God, love Jesus, love all that. Had a big problem with the Bible. Had a big problem with the fact that it was mistranslated. Had a big problem with the fact that at times it contradicted itself. I had a big problem with the fact that the Gospels all have different accounts of the same story. What the fuck with that? All four of y'all was there. The whole story is right. You know, my logic gets in the way of my faith. I never had a problem with God's plan. I just knew that things that are inspired by God still have man thoughts mingled in with them too. You know, it's just our egotistical natures. So I knew that there were some things in the Bible that could not be correct and accurate. Because as much as I have been in church my whole life, I have been attracted to girls since age 4. You know, these are some of my earliest thoughts were about girls. And when I wanted to play house, I wanted to be the man. I mean, and you can say that that's a sickness. That's not a demon. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. Because, baby, I have power. And I had a problem with church because I felt like the church gave the devil too much power. The devil is a necessary adversary to push you. You cannot experience happiness unless you experience sadness. You cannot experience joy unless you experience pain. It doesn't have a bearing over my life. I don't get frustrated because the scales are tipping. God is pulling me one way and the devil is pulling me the other way. That story has no bearing in my existence. So, but it made me not want to send my children to church because people interpret the Bible. That there's nothing wrong with using the Bible as examples on how to live. Jesus taught in parables all the time. He told stories, and that was his example on how you should be behaving and what should be happening. The problem is people take the Bible so literally. And I don't think it's a literal book. I think it's a spiritual book. It's supposed to be taken spiritual. I tell it every member of my family, my immediate family, my 4 children, and my wife. What is the lesson? Don't worry about, okay, say Jesus didn't die on the cross. Let's just say the factual, historical fact, this did not happen. I have finally got to this point, y'all. It's amazing. It's amazing. It's like, this is a miracle. It don't matter to me whether the story is fiction or non-fiction, because I was hung up on that so long. What matters to me is the message. But to say literally things in the Bible that I just don't feel in my spirit are true, that means I can't go to church. That means I can't go to church because I just don't feel like, I feel like at the end of the world, at the end of everything, and everything is all over, and we go back to the nothingness that we became. I don't even think we'll go back to the nothingness that we became. I do feel like it is destined for the entire world to elevate its consciousness to survive in the 5th dimension. 5 fingers, 5th dimension. I do think it's extraterrestrials on the 4th dimension that transfer to the 3rd dimension. I do think lower dimensions are equivalent to hell. The 1st dimension, the 2nd dimension. They say there are 12 dimensions. And some of them have higher vibration frequencies than others. Some of them have lower vibration frequencies. The 3rd dimension is the density of the vibration makes matter materialize. But in the reality, on a different dimension, it will not exist to somebody in that dimension the way it exists in this dimension. Now, those teachings I did not learn in the Bible at all. Also, I do believe that life is like a school, and you have to learn your lesson in order to graduate to the next grade. And if you don't, you repeat a grade. So I believe in reincarnation. I don't have I've never studied anything thoroughly but the Bible because I was raised in church. And it was the thing that I heard as long as I can remember. But there were certain things that just made absolute sense to me. I do think that we're not alone in the universe. I do think that there's other forms of intelligence out there that know about us or don't know about us. And I just feel like human beings were an experiment of God experiencing God, of God perfecting God, of us perfecting us, of God experiencing God, experiencing us, God experiencing God. I do. I hope I'm under 10 minutes. I'll come back because I'm on a roll. Fuck it. I'll come back.